And what in heaven's name brought you to Casablanca?
My health. I came to Casablanca for the waters.
The waters? What waters? We're in the desert.
I was misinformed.
He taught me, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
The ability to speak does not make you intelligent.
You're tearing me apart!
What?
You say one thing, he says another, and everybody changes back again!
It's the Al Travis Show. We've got him, Matt, on baseball. This is going to be interesting as all get out. Matt, how you doing?
I'm doing great on this final day of the trade deadline. Good to see you.
Yeah, the trades are coming. I thank you. You're off gallivanting across the country, so it's quite early where you're at. I appreciate you doing this for me. I presume you didn't see the game last night. Let me ask you this. Trade deadline comes every year. You're in Major League Baseball. You must kind of live with it in the back of your head all the time, right? So why does this disrupt so many teams? And here's my thought. A disruption, big trade can help a team or can hurt a team. And I don't just mean books or whatever. It can take a bad guy out of the clubhouse and make things better, and teams can pick it up, maybe get a little, hey, I'm moving up a notch. It can help teams. But teams like Minnesota and the Twins, it crushes us. I don't know if you caught the game last night. Yeah. They're playing the Red Sox. They lose 13-1. Okay, we're a team floundering to begin with. Buxton got hurt. He's out for 10 days. But that isn't it. So Willie Castro is one of those that we know is on the market, right? That we're kind of waving around, see if anybody wants him. They put him out on second base, and the coach pulls him early, and he believes he got traded. They pulled him out of the game. He's like, I got traded. The crowd, the 12,000 that were there, oh my God, they're pulling Willie. He got traded. This goes around, and the coach like, no, I just thought I'd get him some rest. It just doesn't seem to be thinking through the game. And I like Rocco. I think he's just not thinking through the game. Well, we've been doing this platooning with all the middle reliever games. So we get to this game, and he has put Jax in, another kid who's on the trading block. Mm-hmm. He goes out there, not really much else we can do. He's our last guy, loads the bases up. He knows he's traded. He wants as low an ERA as he can get because he want to make a deal. Loads the bases up, and the coach goes, oh, that's right. Major League Baseball, if you're down by 8 runs, you could put in a regular position player. So he grabs Cody Clemens, who has a 60-mile-an-hour fastball, put him on the plate, on the mound. And Jack's have it out with the coach right there on the. I don't want to leave. These are my guys. I don't want this against me. He goes, you're out. Get out of here. He kicks him out. Clemens comes in, throws up a big donut. First ball out of the park, and cost Jack's 3 runs off on him. He was mad at a Hornet. Had to come back afterwards, apologize to the coach. My point being is some teams will get better when this stuff happens. I don't think that's the mix for my squad. How am I off? How discombobulated is this? You pull a guy who's talking about being traded in the middle of the game and the crowd goes nuts. You're not thinking through this.
Yeah. It's interesting. I don't know. Again, you said I'm out west in Colorado, so I haven't focused on some of the details, but I did read about this one game. I'm drawing a blank on which teams were playing, but in the middle of the game, the guy from one team was traded to the team they were playing, and he went over to that dugout. He switched dugouts in the middle of the game. Now that is pretty bizarre.
But it is, and again, this isn't new. Baseball's been doing this for a lot of years, but it upsets these people. And Minnesota has got. We're not done yet. We'll talk all the trades. I want to talk trades with you. But if you were a Minnesota Twins management, Carlos Correa was put up in the last 2 days as somebody we would get rid of if we could. The rumors are out there. I don't know that you can. He's not living up to his $36 million a year contract. He's just not doing $36 million worth of work. So you try to unload him. Well, some team's going to take him, but today you got to pay $12 million of that or whatever the difference is. We overpaid for him. Do you get rid of a marquee guy like that, or do you hope he can turn it back around, or is he on the end of his career?
Yeah, at this point, what is he?
He's 30.
He's 30 now. He was always a huge prospect, but he's never lived up to that potential.
No.
He's had some good stretches of time. I would definitely trade him to try to pick up some prospects. And well, we're going to talk about the trade. I think Minnesota came out okay in some of those trades, but you know more about that than I do.
All right, well, let's talk about him. We got rid of Paddock. He left, and another guy from the minors. He never impressed me when he pitched anyway. Doesn't bother me. You're taking Johan Duran, the reliever, the closer. I don't know. You think we got enough for him here? You give up pitching for pitching that has good prospects.
Right, and he's proven. Right, he's a proven.
Yeah,
entity.
that's what I'm at, and it's like, so what am I looking for as a Twins fan? Oh, we got great prospects now. You get rid of the best. You know it. Ryan's up there. They're talking about getting one of the best pitchers in baseball, is giving him up, and I give him up. We'll get a lot for him. What do I have to root for at that point? You're selling the team out from under me, and you're just Mr. Baseball. Yeah, this happens out. We all get used to it. I'm too vested in this now to have him give up my best players.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you give up 1 for 2, I'm not a math genius, but that can be helpful. Look at the 2 guys you got for Duran. You got probably 2 of the top players in the mix. You got this catcher guy who I read a little bit about, Eduardo Toit, I think, who this guy has massive power, but again, it's massive power in the minor leagues. There are no guarantees when you're a prospect, but I mean, he's really promising. And then you got this guy, Mick Abel, who's already come up and pitched some really good games for the Phillies. So, I mean, it just depends, right? If you need, have the Twins been hurting for starters? I mean, you've been short, I think, on starters, right?
Yeah, we're having every 4th game be this middle reliever, everybody taking inning crap, which never wins you a ball game, or we do it all the time. My problem is with Joe Ryan is he is a good pitcher. Our other one is out due to the injury, Lopez. So literally now, great, this guy might be a great 3rd or 4th starter. Who might be perfect for it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, now we got 2 great 3rd or 4th starters. We don't, I just hate giving up what works.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I mean, there's proven performance in the majors versus, prospect status, and one is better than the other, right? Yeah. I guess with a closer, you're talking about a guy who pitches maybe 2, maybe 3 times a week, who's really good, who can lock down games, versus, a couple of other everyday players potentially, if you're playing in the field. So I don't know. It's a tough call because, if you're not going to make the playoffs, it looks like the Twins might. My Braves are not going to make the playoffs.
We are not making the playoffs.
To position yourself longer term, right?
And ours is complicated with the idea of being bought. We want to sell this squad. Well, now you get rid of the Carlos Correa, who, if anything, kids want autographs. You get rid of Joe Ryan, who is that all-star player. What's the attraction? We're losing ball. We have not won a series since the All-Star break. One of those against Colorado, the other against the White Sox. We didn't win either of those. Yeah. Well, you laugh. I'm living through this every day. I got to talk about it.
I feel your pain. My Braves have been terrible this year.
So my point is, what brings you to the stadium, and what is it? How does that draw somebody to say, well, unless you think you're a billionaire, I can get it on the cheap? That'd be the only way. I mean, it's just we're for sale, and we're selling everything we got, including the furniture, looks like.
Yeah. You still got some pretty good players left on that team,
Well, they all have had, Byron Buxton, who's now out for 10 or 15 days because of a rib thing. Ryan Jeffers is going to be our guy. Roy, but he has not filled his potential. We get him up here, he's the next thing. Wallner was going to be the next thing, and they just haven't. And I don't know what makes that happen like that. I really don't.
Yeah. I mean, one is, I read a lot about, we could talk about the Brewers in a minute. Yep. They've surprised everybody, but one reason they've done so well is the culture that their manager has built, right? And I think that makes a big difference with the team.
Oh yeah, you mean like putting a guy out there and pull him back in, make him think he got traded when he didn't? Yeah,
exactly.
In clubhouse,
not doing that.
yeah. There's other options. Let's go to break. When we come back, I'm going to let you handle all the other trades that have gone on that you're impressed with. We crush it on my Minnesota Twins. All right, back with more Matt on Baseball on the Al Travis Show.
There are many ways to explore Alexandria. Some like to experience the outdoors and all the fun winter in Minnesota can provide. Pick your favorite way to get in touch with nature. Others like to explore downtown in the warm comfort of a boutique or gathered around a table with friends. You can do all of that, or relax, and do nothing at all. Come explore Alexandria. Start planning at explorealex.com.
If it's your turn to host a game, Grandpa's Barbecue suggests you try something different. Put out the perfect barbecue flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. Add it to your ribs, dip the meatballs, or drench your wings in the original flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. It isn't too hot or spicy, fruity or smoky or whatever. Grandpa's Barbecue. Available in select stores and online at grandpasbarbecueshop.com.
It's nice to know a guy that knows a guy. Al Travis.
All right, I soaked up all the time talking about the Minnesota Twins, other trades out there. We've got a mat on baseball. What do you think is the biggest trade so far? And by the way, it's the end of the day. Today is when they have to all be done. So
we could still. I'm looking for some big surprises by 6 p.m., which is the end of that trading period today. But so far, I'd say the Mariners are in this. Very, very interesting. You know, for a number of years, the Mariners have had a great pitching rotation, but just a mediocre offense. They are all in on their offense this year. They picked up 2 sluggers, right? They've already got Cal Raleigh, their catcher, who is having an unbelievable season. But they picked up Josh Naylor first to play first base, and he's a 30-35 home run guy. And then yesterday picked up one of the biggest home run hitters in baseball, and Eugenio Suarez, to play third base. So I think those guys are all in. One interesting stat there, they are the first or just the second team in history to head into August with 2 players who have at least 35 home runs.
Really?
The second team. You know what the other one was?
No. I don't know.
1961 New York Yankees, Roger Maris and Mickey Mantle.
Oh, no kidding. That's okay. That makes some sense. So the Mariners, they are currently sitting 5 games back from Houston. With 50 games to go. Is that enough power? I think it might be.
I think so. Now, their rotation has not met their usual standard, but, we've got 2 months to go. We know they have the talent. I think that might ensure they at least get the wild card.
Well, and I'm looking; they really do have the wild card thing locked up. I think that's it. And if you get that team playing well, watch out in the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. You to do really well in the playoffs, if you have two power pitchers, you're going to do pretty well if you have a decent offense, and those guys have more than that.
Yeah, fair enough.
So,
what other trades of note?
I would just say, there have been 12 relievers yesterday were traded. It's mostly been a reliever and infield market. That makes sense. I mean, traditionally, teams heading into the playoffs want to bolster their bullpens. So you've got the Phillies, who now have an actual closer that they picked up from the Twins. You've got the Mets, who already had a great closer and picked up the Cardinals closer as well, Halsey. So those guys are really jockeying for position. Do
the Mets have to do something? You'd bring up the Phillies, and they get our reliever. I get that. They're a half a game back from the Mets. This has been one of the better divisions as far as watching these guys go battle back and forth. Is that enough to put them over the top?
Yeah, look, I think the Phillies are in the window now. They've got their biggest stars are, pretty well into their 30s now. Bryce Harper, Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber. They have to win now. And they already, I would argue the Phillies have the best rotation in baseball. So ensuring that they have a bullpen that can hold leads heading into the playoffs, that may be enough. This year I've been a little skeptical of the Mets, although they're in first place, right? They've got certainly the offensive talent. I still have questions about their starting rotation. But
all right.
Yeah.
Any other trades you'd be very interested in seeing done? Is Atlanta you guys getting rid of, or are you taking in? What are you doing with Atlanta?
Oh my gosh, they've traded people and they've gotten people I've never heard of. So very, very minor trades. I mean, the two players that may be traded today are Marcell Ozuna, their designated hitter, and then their closer Iglesias may be traded as well. Clearly, I mean, I think they are actual sellers. They're not going to make the playoffs this year, and they might as well get some value for these guys whose contracts end this year.
Anyway, yeah, but where do you sit as a fan, though? What kills me is you're dedicated to this squad. Am I looking right? There's 17 under 500.
Terrible.
And now they're selling off what they've got as far as good stuff. Is it just a hope with new kids coming in? That's all you've got? I mean, that's just, man, it's Atlanta, for God's sakes.
It's a double whammy. The 5 members of their starting rotation on opening day are all on the injured list. Maybe for the rest of the season. So their entire rotation is on the IL.
Yeah.
And then on the offensive side, they've got stars like Matt Olson and Austin Riley, who have either been injured or not playing up to potential. So the only thing we can hope for is that next year they'll play up to potential, because I think they still have some star power and talent.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
With 50 games, you have another one. If not, I'm just going to ask you, which team do you see is the team to beat? Is it the Dodgers? I mean, they got the complete package, 63 wins so far, but you got look at it, Toronto at 64. Detroit 64, but they went through 10 days, couldn't win a ball game. I don't even know how Detroit's even got 64 wins. Who's the team to beat?
Well, I think you know who the best team in baseball is going into August?
Who?
The Milwaukee Brewers.
Really?
They have the best. They have the best winning percentage in baseball. And what's interesting,
there you go.
In a sign of, I mean, it is up in the air who's going to win this year, is their winning percentage, best in baseball now, is the lowest winning percentage of any major league team heading into August in the modern era. So, really shows that, look, you got to play. In the end, heading into the season, the Dodgers were the team to beat. They were 3 deep at every position. They had like 10 starters who were all going to be all-stars, and look where they are. They're still leading the division, but I think we may not have a single team that makes it to 98, 100 98 or 100 wins this year.
But isn't that good for baseball? And wouldn't it be because everybody plays everybody now? You don't get guys in a bad division where you can just beat up on your own folks. Everybody has to play everybody. It does show that we're much tighter than the old scoring system.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to your earlier question, look, keep an eye on the Yankees. The Yankees without Aaron Judge are just not as intimidating. He's on the injured list. We'll see how long he stays there. I think overall the best team is probably the Dodgers. They're just the deepest, but there are a number of teams that could win this, and that does make it an exciting season.
It'll make it for a lot of fun getting into the playoffs. My friend, I appreciate you very much. You took time off out of your vacation. You're out in Colorado to do this for me. Thank you for doing it. When we get back next time, we'll know who's who and where's where and what's happening. So watch out for today, and big changes are coming. I appreciate you.
Thanks, Al. Always love to talk baseball with you.
All right. He's Matt on baseball on the Al Travis Show.
Think about